now we have Shri Satish Manocha ji. Sir, the Telecom Pioneer in India. And here he is sitting with the Crown Prince of Denmark, who was in the news recently, who became the king, I think now. So he is sitting with him. So such a big man. And then us time ki Telecom Minister, Satish Manocha ji. This is the indication for the next person to get ready.
Very good afternoon. Lovely facing the most learned and the most experienced on the dais and in front. My Shastang Pranam to all. Especially the most learned, I'm the least one out of them. My journey started long back in Delhi, IIT, 1961. Oh, let me not talk from what's in the book. Interesting was, in 1960, the husband of the Queen, inaugurated Delhi campus. But the campus first batch, which I joined, was in August 1961. That's how the campuses in the first 5 IITs started. Kharagpur, Bombay, Madras, Kanpur, then Delhi. After that, I think there was a gap of almost 20 years. But anyway, what I learned was in the campus, mostly British faculty after first year. First year is common to all branches. The tie-up in Delhi was with the British government and Imperial College. Professor John Brown, the world-known expert in microwave. I had one course with him, and then he invited me for summer course, which was meant for faculty of IITs, 5 IITs and IISc. And I was supposed to be helping them in microwave setup in the labs, in the afternoons. This kind of faculty with one-to-one interaction was the best. Just 102 students in our 4 branches. 2 were Indians whose mother didn't want them to go to their father in US and UK. And third one was from Iraq. Very interesting. What I learned is high discipline, punctuality, being before time when you are asked to come for any work. Interesting was in the final year, I had finished my project one day before Holi season. We celebrated Holi in Professor Indershan's house, and he had invited all the British faculty and their spouses. Very interesting. So 2 of our students, me and my batchmate, we told Professor Indershan after the Idli Vada, can you come and see our project work we have completed for defense. With the first transistors made in Delhi, CDIL, few thousand, with 2 wafers, Professor Indershan allowed us to buy and convert to transistor in their factory in Delhi, CDIL. And he says, oh, say, okay. He took his bicycle. I said, the lab will be closed, it's a holiday. So we have to run faster than his bicycle. Professor P.V. Indershan, later on, Director Madras and lifelong my guide and mentor. One day before he passed away in Pune, I had by chance met him. Anyway, look at one-to-one interaction. Can't forget such guides. Luckily, I had British professors as my guide in US 2 times. And all the time invited for dinner because I was the least person talking, and now I'm maximum talker. Anyway, working in India was a dream, although with a few months in Bell Labs in New Jersey, and that was a dream fulfilled. And when I came to India, 1 year I was teaching MTech classes in Roorkee, which was part of the UP government, today is IIT. Then there was an ad for IIT Sorry, ITI. I am changing the IIT becomes ITI for Bangalore and other campuses, and for Bharat Electronics. I was selected for ITI to start new R&D in Nani industrial area of Allahabad. So I started from the lowest level and reached the highest level, and last 30 years I'm in Bangalore. Last 10 years of my working in ITI was in R&D Bangalore, and as a director and then as CMD. What I learned was from my experience in US and in India was what my time common popular song of Beatles, 8 days a week. I think my age people will remember 8 days a week. So we actually work 8 days a week, never less than 12 hours for 6 days, 2-3 hours on holiday, but not as much as our Dr. CJ Kenai sitting here. He works 4 days a week, 5 days a week, even today. HAL has given him 2 buildings. It was so nice seeing such stalwarts in our group here, sitting here. Going up the ladder and career was sometime a shock, and sometime a shock because I made a double jump in my promotion, which is rare in a public sector. It did happen, and my senior became junior one day, and I got kicked up in the ladder to Bangalore from north to south. The lucky was being member of three-member team, and I was very junior as you call it, manager in the lab in Allahabad, and chairman simply called from Bangalore to change the structure of the board. The only third person was Kanpur IIT director, Professor Sampath. So 3 of us. He says, I got cabinet approval to change the structure, otherwise you will not get promotion. My God. I said, what am I supposed to do? There are 2 general managers sitting in Bangalore in R&D. They work only 8 hours a day. You guys work 12 hours a day in Allahabad. I said, we have mostly youngsters from IITs, and in those days it was called RECs. But in Bangalore, those guys in R&D started in 1950. 48, the factory started in Bangalore IIT. He says, no, they don't work more than 8 hours, 1 minute. I said, okay, sir, what am I to do? You contribute. You are equal member, and in 3 days' time, I am getting cabinet approval. That was the CMD, KPP Nambiar, who created a lot of things in Kerala. I think many people know his name, KPP Nambiar. He worked for 1 year in Delhi IIT, I don't remember then, but then he created many industries. Lucky to be going up the ladder, as I said, sometime as a shock when my equal or a senior becomes junior next day. But dynamic change brought, due to the advice from the top level, I felt need of higher equity for the company, which had only 81 or 88 crores and brought 200 crores from other public sector when I was CMD. That is one of the good achievement. But lesson for forward is taking forward the next generation. One lesson, when I was given a Distinguished Alumni Award in Delhi by the then director in Delhi on a special function, that there was a youngster sitting, final year students, and one of them asked a question, what is the use of our learning so much depth? They should teach only software languages. I said, your question is fantastic. I'm the only one on the stage asked. I said, you remember thermodynamics first year? No, we did. If you are in electronics, do you know what chips and how they are made? No. We were taught, but we don't want to know. I said, 5 years after you go into an industry and your colleague gets a promotion, you don't get. You'll have to go for master's degree, but you'll have to go for a doctorate after 10 years after leaving. And this is not fair that just software is taught. Today's generation, I will say the same thing. I'm talking of long back when distinguished alumnus I was called, and this is one advice I said, you'll have to keep learning, and whether it's new future language for network or other things. Second thing is, technology and human needs need equal attention anytime, whether you are in industry or in a lab. both are equally important, being human also.
Thank you, sir.